Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, where today I'm going to show you guys what my first big prototype is going to be for the new factory. So the first one is a processing factory of ore. So this factory is only going to process ore, and that is it. So it's going to basically process copper, iron, quartz, maybe? No. Copper, iron, steel, and caterium. Because aluminum and quartz and limestone and oil are going to be done completely different locations. So here is what is going to happen. Number one. Let's get over here. So this is my, if you forgot, my project world where I have no rules. So basically what's going to happen is this. The original ore line is going to come in, and what is going to be done is anything overflow goes into the sink. Anything that we need will obviously come into the system. Here are all the different ores. Sulfur will not be processed here. Quartz will not be processed here. Limestone, once again, will not be processed. Iron, copper, coal, and caterium will be. So those are the only ones that will actually be processed in this basic processing factory. So what we're going to do is we're going to get things lined up here, where I actually line up the right ones first. So last time I did this, I did it wrong. So it's limestone. This is iron, right? Yep. So iron. Is going to be connected up. Copper. It'll be connected up. Oh, I'm stuck on going up. Coal, you will be. You were supposed to. And then there we go. Caterium. Okay. Yep. So these are going to be the only things in this factory initially. So we have our iron, our copper, our coal, and our caterium. Later on I may modify it to run the other ores. But for now, these are the only ores it's going to produce. They're going to come in. They're obviously going to run into the smelteries, etc. So see, they will run into the things they need to run into. Now these are things that are set up with overflows and things like that. Now one of the things I do need to do is set up everything with overflow, which I think I did. Yep, I did, okay. So it will fill up the first batch of machines. Now one of the things I realized I should do with this actually is actually go with caterium first, because caterium is actually the hardest thing to produce. But basically what will happen is in factory number 1, it will produce our ores. It will then ship things, as you can see here, to factory number 2, which will have stuff coming in from the current production line stuff that we're doing into the storage here. Pretty much it. Now there is a couple things I've noticed. Even with these set to overflow, as you can see, are they going to be in here? I'm still getting wastage. I'm still getting steel ingots, copper ingots, iron ingots in here, and I don't know why. It's a small fraction. It's not a lot. And I don't know why. It's really bothering me as to why I'm getting some overage. But yeah, so this is the current theoretical production line. So as you can see, it's producing all our ores. they're going to our factory. Because we have the highest tier belt, which is tier 5, bandwidth is not going to be an issue at all. So long as we have ore coming in, we can produce anything we need. Now, on this end, there will be issues with, as you can see, there'll be issues with bandwidth. But I mean, that theoretically can be modified with power shards and things like that. So it may not need as much, say, steel production. Or, honestly, I don't know. One of the things I have noticed with this is it's also helps the way I run this. So for example, if I disconnect it now, and we let the game run at 20 times speed here for a few moments, come back to normal speed, you notice we have a lot of cloggage when it comes to the foundries. So what I have found is if I actually run just coal and Caterium first into this whole system here. What happens is the Caterium just keeps going all the way down to the end, but the coal fills up these areas a lot faster. We're actually going to go to just increase the speed here in the game real quick. There we go. That should be enough. So you notice we're all blocked up in coal. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to connect the copper line. Copper. The next furthest one down. So all our Caterium now and our copper going. And if we do the same thing, increase our speed to max for a little while, give it a few moments. There we go. And there we go. So now all the copper lines and most of the Caterium lines are pretty clogged up, which is good. That's exactly what we want. Basically, let the thing run for a little while. Now, obviously, we need iron. So iron will be the next thing we plug in. There we go. It should now what's going on over here? Oh, did I fill up all the stuff at this end already? This is what happens when you're doing experiments, ladies and gentlemen. No, we actually have ourselves a little bit of an issue. What is going on there? So left. Let's try this again. Gonna be steel ingots, and then down the center. Overflow only. Which means I shouldn't get... I shouldn't get anything going beyond this, but I am. Interesting. I got 7 iron ingots and 6 steel ingots. There went a caterium as well. Let's see, the odd caterium still gets through. What if I did something like this? I wasn't expecting that to happen. Just lost 2 copper ingots there. Interesting. So I'm wondering if there's a max amount that these can take. I'm wondering if you can produce too much. Basically, the filters themselves actually can't take it. Steel ingots with overflow. So it could be that the limiters can only take so much before they actually get just overloaded. Because with how fast the tier 5 things are, it could be that they just can't take the bandwidth. Let that run for a little while. See what happens. So you see we are losing a little bit of stuff there. That's only because the stuff is full. So this theoretically would be factory number 1, where it's just producing our ores for us. And then we'll have, I don't know, a truck or a train or something bringing all these ingots to the primary factory, which will then obviously be filling things up for us. So now there's no leakage, so I think that's what it is. I think the smart splitters can only have a certain bandwidth that they can take, like just sheer amount of stuff. And I think the Mark V belts max it out too much. Like I think they just put too much stuff through and it can't catch everything no matter what. Because now we have no, I guess you call it shrinkage or whatever. Okay, so this is theoretically prototype number 1 with the ore factory and then the production factory over here. Theoretically everything will come down this line and go to a production line down at the other end. Hey, summer sloop. But yeah, that's the theory behind what's going on over there. So I think my next thing would probably be then to I'm trying to design a train system. So we'll have our ore processing plant, or we'll just call it our processing plant, dump into a train line that then runs to a location, dumps all the ores off, which then go to basically large containers that then split off into whatever they're going to do. So basically, we'll have a couple, like basically we'll have just conveyor belts bringing everything to the processing plants, and then from the processing plant to the main manufacturing plant. And then we'll also have our refinery in a different location as well. But yeah, I think this is working. Now that I know that there's a bandwidth, or just a sheer number of things that the sorters can take, I think it's, I'm going to assume it's 6 items per second inside them, maybe? I don't know, because I've noticed that they have like an internal buffer. So I'm wondering if that internal buffer gets clogged, basically, or it gets too full, and then before it can figure out what's in it, the next thing comes in, and it just lets that go through. That's a possibility. Alright, and this is slowed down now. Iron being produced. Copper. Steel is a little bit behind. Right now it looks like we only got 2 things producing steel. 3 things producing steel. So this is a good way to also check a look at your bandwidth as well. Yes, there is the prototype processing plant. Tell me what you think. Leave some comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.